everybody, and welcome back to History with Brian. If this is your first time with me, my name is Brian, and I'm a master's student of history, here to talk history, learn more about it, and have fun while doing it. If you haven't noticed, this is kind of a new area for me. I just got this room back. My roommate had just recently moved out, and this is my workspace, and I'm making it back into my workspace. So a little empty and a little echoey right now, but further down the line here, it'll be filled up and made nice and pretty for everything. So I think for today, I'm just going to get right into the video. It's a little bit longer video, and I'm going to do it in two parts, because if I did it all in one part, it would just be one giant long video, and it would get boring, and you wouldn't want to watch the rest of it. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd get bored after a little bit too. So the video that I'm doing is History of the Entire World, I guess. Now, there's a disclaimer. I have seen this video before, but I do think that it is a staple for history reactors to do, because it does cover a lot of stuff over a long period of time. And I guess I just like to watch it and kind of do my own commentary on it. And since it is a little bit longer, I'm going to try to keep it shorter, my commentary that is, so I don't drone on and on. However, there is a lot of interesting aspects. So also there is some foul language in this video. So if you don't like that, obviously you don't have to watch the video or anything like that, but I'm just letting you know that there is some foul language. So I guess, yeah. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we?
Hi, you're on a rock, floating in space. Pretty cool, huh? Some of it's water. Fuck it. Actually, most of it's water. I can't even get from here to there without buying a boat. It's sad. I'm sad. I miss you. How did this happen? A long time ago, actually never, and also now, nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere, you don't need a where. You don't even need a when. That's how every it gets. Forget this. I want to be something. Go somewhere. Do something. I want things to change. I want to invent time and space. And I know it's possible because everything is here and it probably already happened. I just don't know when to start. And that's exactly where it started. Oh, I paused it. I think there's a universe now. What's it made of? Quarks and stuff. Ah, that's a thing. In a place. Don't like it? Try a new place. At a different time. Try to stick together because the world is going to get bigger and emptier. But it's not empty yet. It's still very full and about 1 jillion degrees. Great news, the quarks are now happily married in groups of 3, called a proton or a neutron. And there's something else flying around too that wants to join in but can't because it's still too... Great news, the protons and neutrons are now happily married.
I guess the electron has a little bit too much of a positive attitude. I had to. Sorry.
To each other. Some of them even doubled up. Great news, the electrons have now joined in. Congratulations, the world is now a bunch of gas in space. But it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. It's a star. New shit just got made. Some stars burn out and die. Bigger stars burn out and die with passion and make some brand new, way crazier shit. Space dust. Which allows newer, more interesting stars to be made and then die and explode into even crazier space dust. So now stars have cool stuff around them, like rocks, ice, and funny clouds, which can make some very interesting things. Like this ball of flaming rocks, for example. Holy shit, we just got hit with another ball of flaming rocks, and it kind of made a mess, which is now... Weather update, it's raining rocks from outer space. Weather update, those rocks might have had water inside them, and now there's hot steam in the sky. Weather update, cooler temperatures today, and the floor is no longer lava. Weather update, it's raining. Severe flooding alert, the entire world is now an ocean. Volcano alert. That's land. There's life in the ocean. What? Something's alive in the ocean. Oh cool, like a plant or an animal? No, a microscopic speck. It lives at the bottom of the ocean and eats chemical soup, which is being served hot and fresh, made from gnarly space ingredients left over from when it was raining rocks or whatever. Oh yeah, and it can do that. It has secret instructions written inside itself telling it how to build another one of itself. So that's pretty nifty, I would say. Tired of living at the bottom of the ocean? Now you can eat sunlight. Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert sunlight into food. Side effect, now there's oxygen everywhere and the sky's blue. Then the Earth might have been a snowball for a while, maybe even a couple of times. It's a sponge, it's a plant, it's a worm, and some other types of weird, strange water bugs and strange fish. It's the Cambrian Explosion. Wow, that's animals and stuff. But we're still in the ocean. Hey, can we go on land? No. Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Oh, okay. Not anymore, there's a blanket. Now the animals can go on land. Come on, animals, let's go on land. Nope, can't walk yet. And there's no food yet, so I don't care. Okay, will you learn to walk if there's plants up here? Maybe, said some bugs and fish. Okay, so I can go on land, but I have to go back in the water to have babies. Learn to use an egg.
I was already doing that.
Use a stronger egg. Put water in it. Have a baby on land in an egg. Water is in the egg. Baby in the egg, in the water, in the egg. Works for me. Bye bye, ocean. And now everything's huge, including bugs. Want to see a map of the land? Sure. Oh fuck, now everything's dead. Just kidding, here are the survivors. Keep your eye on this one because it's about to become the dinosaurs. Here's another map of the land. Yeah, it broke apart, don't worry about it, it does that all the time. Here comes a meteor.
Lucid Chart presents Lucid Spark, the online whiteboard
Yeah,
that
so
helps
we'll
teams
let the
bring
ads
their
go for
best
you
ideas
because
to
they're
life,
obviously
no matter
sponsored.
where they are. Round
yeah,
up your
give it credit
team
and all
and
that,
bounce
so.
ideas around on an infinite canvas.
So yeah, this is pretty interesting
Sort
so
the
far. It's a
brainstorming
very
clutter,
scientific
make
background of
ideas make
this.
sense.
And,
Get everyone's input and vote on the best ideas
don't think
so
it's
you
much
can
longer
decide on
than
next
human history,
steps
so
together.
then I'll be able to
Fire
start
up
to plan.
momentum and act while ideas are hot.
But it's
Ignite
really
your
interesting to think that
collaboration
this happened
with
over
Lucid Spark.
billions of years.
Try it free today.
Even though he only did it in a couple of minutes, but they're really kind of interesting to think about.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find...
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
And the dinosaurs are gone. It's mammal time. Here come the mammals. Look at those breasts. Now they're gonna dominate the world, and one of them just learned how to grab stuff and walk. No, like walk like that and grab stuff at the same time. And bang rocks together to make pointed rocks. Ouch. And set things on fire. Youch. And make crazy sounds with their voice. Knirsch, which can mean different things. That's a human person. And now they're everywhere.
Okay, so I think this is insinuating that we evolved from ape. You know that famous picture where it has the ape that's all hunched over, and as it goes along, it gets more and more straight up and down. The scientists, I should say, have pretty much said that that's false. It's well known that that's not an accurate statement. It just more or less shows how evolution, I guess, in a way, works, and how species turn into different species just so they can adapt to the surrounding world around them. But yeah, that's not totally true. And of course, it's very just kind of blanketed over. But yeah, the whole thing were from monkeys or apes to humans is not the right story there.
Where? Almost. Ice Age. What? You can walk over here? Cool. Not anymore. Well, I guess we're stuck here.
And this is another aspect that's really interesting. So 20 to 10,000 years ago is when they figured that humans came over, if you can see my mouse here, through this Bering Strait here, which was covered in ice, and then it melted, so then that created that space there. There are some, within the last couple of years, there have been some new studies by archaeologists. They found some sites that suggested that humans have actually been in North America longer than we originally anticipated. So right in this little area here, right in this Arizona, New Mexico, kind of Mexico area, I forgot the name of the actual dig site, but basically they found evidence, and with carbon dating and everything, all this wonderful science that we have nowadays, it is leaning towards that humans were in North America earlier than we initially thought. And if that becomes more supported through more scientific research and testing and everything, and if that becomes true, then history as we know it is going to change. It's going to change a lot of history books.
Here now. Let's review. There's people on the planet, and they're chasing their food. Fuck it, time to plant some grass. Look at this. I control the food now. Now everyone will want to be my friend and live.
Wow. Okay. So this is quick fire. So this is probably the most important thing in human history is when humans learn to cultivate food and they learn to grow basically like wheat. Humans were hunter-gatherers before then, so they basically they depended on the migration of the animals, and they would migrate with them and hunt them and gather food as well. But when humans learn how to cultivate, that is when we start getting groupings. staying, and we started to live a sedimentary lifestyle. So once we grew our own food, that was our staple diet. People gathered, and then more people came in. Became more trade things. Hey, you got food? We'll trade you food. We'll give you things, and then basically that was the start of civilization itself. And cities grew into empires, and so on and so forth. I think you get the gist here.
Near me. Let's all build houses, except mine is bigger because I own the food. This is great. I wonder if anyone else is doing this. Tired of using rocks for everything? Use metal. It's underground. Better farming was just invented in a sweet, dank valley right in between these two rivers, and the animals are helping. Guess what happens next? More food, and more people who came to buy the food. Now you need people to help make the food and keep track of the sales. And now you need houses for people to live in and people to make the houses. And now there's more people and they invent things, which makes things better. And more people come and there's more farming and more people to make more things for more people. And now there's business, money, writing, laws, power. Society. Coming soon to a dank river valley near you.
Ooh, this is a really important, I guess, visual here. So these rivers here, you have the Nile River here, the Tigris Euphrates, the Indus Valley River. I'm not sure exactly what that river is. And these two rivers over here in China, again, I don't know what the names of those are. These are very, very important. So these are going to be basically the dawn of human civilization as we know it. So Mesopotamia right here, which was what they were just previously looking at, the Tigris and Euphrates. And then, of course, probably more famous yet is the Nile River with Egypt right along here. You have the pyramids and all that. Egypt, of course, is one of the most powerful empires to ever be in human history. But this area right in here, it is what is known as the Fertile Crescent. And especially this little line right in through here was probably the most fought over in all of history. So all these different empires, it didn't stay under a single control of a single empire for very long. It was always being conquered, always being fought over throughout history. And it's still even being fought over to this day. And here, if you notice, you have this nice little mountain range. Of course, you have the Himalayas right here. This was a natural barrier. So not very much could really get through here until later in history. So they're pretty isolated. China was very isolated. But what is more important are these river valleys here. Humans tend to live near water, and that still is a thing today. Most of our highest populations are on coasts near water where they can have trade, they can get food. It's just a trend, kind of one of those continuities through history type of thing.
Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, the horse is probably being tamed. Why is all my metal so lame and lumpy? Tired of using lame, sad metal? Introducing bronze, made with special ingredient tin from the far lands of Tinland. I don't know, my dealer won't tell me where he gets it. Also, guess what? Egypt! Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, they figured out how to put wheels on a horse. Now we're getting somewhere. Also, China! And did I mention Indus River Valley civilization? The Middle East is getting more complicated, maybe because it's in the middle of the East. Knock knock, or clop clop, it's the people with the horses. And they made an empire, and then everyone else copied their horses. Greeks! Ah, look.
So that's an important point that you just kind of skipped over, but I'll make the point. The reason why the chariot spread through those areas is because it was a warring vehicle, right? And through history, most of our technological advancements, some of the best ones, were for war. And humans tend to be more ingenuitive on trying to figure out how to kill other people better. So yeah, the chariots coming from the Hittite Empire, what is the modern day Turkey, coming down, and that was obviously copied because they found that, hey, these chariots are very effective at killing people and being better, and we're always at war with each other. We want to be able to conquer our neighbors, I guess, and be able to protect ourselves. So that's going to be something that's going to continue throughout history as well. Hopefully they'll show it here.
It must be the Greeks, or a beta version of the Greeks. Let's check in with the Indus River Valley civilization. They're gone. Guess who's not gone? China. New arrivals in India. Maybe it's those horse people I was talking about, or their cousins or something. And they wrote some hymns and mantras and stuff. You could make a religion out of this. There's the Bronze Age collapse. Now the Phoenicians can get down to business.
Okay, yeah, so the Bronze Age, just collapsing. this is still refuted today among historians how the actual collapse of the Bronze Age happened, and kind of the, I guess, consensus from what I've read and what I understand is that more or less the civilization, it just kind of outgrew itself, and whatever systems they had, it just didn't work anymore, and it just kind of fell. It's kind of a mystery on the exact hows and whys, but there are people that go into it, and maybe in a later video we'll find a video that does talk on it. But yeah, this again, like I said earlier, this little area right through here, they have it highlighted, and they said it with the Phoenicians. At that time, but the fall was the Phoenicia. But at the collapse of the Bronze Age, we had peoples, and in all these texts, they just called the Sea Peoples. They still don't know exactly who they are. They think they came from over here somewhere. They still don't know. But basically, these people came through and they conquered this entire area during the fall of the Bronze Age.
Also, can we switch to a metal that's a little easier to find? Thanks. Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. And they believe in God. Just one, though. He's got like a 10-step program. Here's some huge heads. Must be the Olmecs. The Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy their... Easier to find? Thanks. Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. And they believe in God. Just one, though. He's got like a 10-step program.
What we got here? No one else is God. Don't make fun of my name. Don't get too sexy. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Here's some huge heads. Must be the Olmecs. The Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy their idea and make some colonies. The Phoenicians made a colony so big it makes colonies. Here comes the Assyrian Empire. Never mind, it's the Babylonian Median. It's the Persian Empire. Wow, that's big.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom.
Ah, the Buddha was just enlightened. Who's the Buddha? This guy who sat under a tree for so long that he figured out how to ignore the fact that we're all dying. You can make a religion out of this. Oops, China just broke, but while it was breaking, Confucius was figuring out how to have good morals. Ah, the Greeks just had the idea of thinking about stuff. And right over here, Alexander just had the idea of conquering the entire Persian Empire. It's a great idea. He was...
Oh yeah, they really kind of skipped over that too. So the Greeks and that whole spiel with thinking about stuff. Yeah, so a lot of Western culture comes out of the Greek Empire, and a lot of the free thinking and the philosophy type, like the Aristotles and all that kind of thing with the Stoics. But yeah, Greek had a huge impact on Western culture today.
was great. And now he's dead. Hopefully the rest of the gang will be able to share the empire evenly between them.
Yeah.
Knock knock, it's Gupta. He says get the hell out of here. Will you get the hell out of here if I give you 500 elephants? Okay, thanks, bye. Time to conquer all of India. Or most of India. But what about this part? That's the Tamil Kings. No one conquers the Tamil Kings. Who are the Tamil Kings? Merchants, probably. And they've got spices. Who would like to buy the spices? Me, said the Arabians, swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world. Hey, China put itself back together again, with good morals as their main
China's like one of those countries, it's like a couple that keeps on getting back together, and everybody knows for a fact they're going to break back up.
philosophy. Actually, they have three main philosophies. Out here, the horse nomads run wild and free, and they would like to ransack your city. Let's check the Greekification levels of the Greekified kingdoms. Greekification overload. Bye, said the Parthians. Bye, said the Jews. Hi, said the Parthians, taking over the entire place. Hey, said the Romans, eating the entire Mediterranean for breakfast. Thanks for invading our homeland, said the Jews, who were starting to get tired of people invading their homeland. Hi, everything's great, said some guy who seems to be getting very popular and is then arrested and killed for being too popular, which only makes him more popular. You can make a religion out of this. Want silk? Now you can buy it from China. They just made a brand new road to the world.
Yeah, so the silk, you have this little dotted line here. Obviously, that's not the actual Silk Road, right? So the Silk Road is more of a metaphor for the exchange and trade between China over here and this part of the world and Rome even. There's some text that Rome might have been part of that trade. But the Silk Road wasn't just a trade of goods. I mean, it was a trade of, just like any trader comes along with, religions, ideologies, culture, everything. So that was kind of the, I guess, breakthrough. Because before this, China, they were very isolated. They didn't need anything from anybody. They stayed very very independent by themselves, and plus, I mean, they're dealing with themselves too much, right? So they don't really have time to trade with anybody. But yeah, all of this going back and forth, that's going to be important coming up.
Or you can get their own water. Sick, new trade routes, said India, accidentally spreading their religion to the entire southeast. That's a good place for an epic trading kingdom. There goes Buddhism traveling up the Silk Road. I wonder if it'll reach China before it collapses again. Remember the Persian Empire? Yep, said the Persians, making a new one. Axum is getting so powerful they would like to build a long stick. Has anyone populated Madagascar yet? Let's do it together. China's home again. Then it broke again. Still can't cross the Sahara Desert? Try camels. Hell yeah, now we got business, said the Ghana Empire, selling lots of gold.
Yeah, so Ghana Empire is one of those empires that's completely forgotten. Even I didn't really know much about it until I got into college. We have Mansa Musa. He was considered one of the richest men in history because they have all this gold. And once people figured out they had all that gold, then he did a lot of trading, and all that trading made him extremely wealthy. Yeah, one of those forgotten empires that was very important in history, but people just seem to forget about.
Slaves. Hi, I live in the Roman Empire, and I was wondering, is loving Jesus legal yet? No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way over here to be closer to his main rival. Don't worry about Rome, it won't fall. It's the golden age of India. There's the Gupta Empire, not Chandragupta, just Gupta. First name Chandra. The first. Guess who's in Rome? Barbarians. What's a barbarian? Non-Romans, said the Romans, being invaded by non-Romans. R.I.P. Roman Empire. Or actually just half of it. The other half is just fine, but it's not in Rome anymore, so let's give it a new name. The Mayans have figured out the stars. Oh, and here's a huge city, population everyone. The Gok Turks have taken over the entire Eurasian steppe. Great job, Gok Turks. How's India? Broken. How's China? Back together. How's those trading kingdoms? Bigger and there's more of them. Korea has 3 kingdoms. Japan has a kingdom. It's the Sunrise Kingdom. Deep in the Arabian desert, on the top of a mountain, the real God whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes down to the cube where everyone worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of this, and maybe conquer the world as well. The Roman Empire is long gone, but somehow the Pope is still the Pope. Plus there's new kingdoms all over Europe. I wonder if there's room for Moors. Here's all the wisdom. In a house. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom. Just in time for the Islamic Golden Age. Let's bring stuff to the coast and sell it and become the Swahili on the Swahili coast, said the Swahili on the Swahili coast. Remember this tiny space you have to go through to get from here to there? Someone owns that now. Want to get enlightened in the middle of nowhere? The Franks have the biggest kingdom in Europe, and the Pope is so proud that he invites the king over for Christmas. Surprise, you're the new Roman emperor, said the Pope, pretending to still be part of the Roman Empire. Then the Franks broke their kingdom into what will later be called France and not France. The Northerners, or just Norse if you don't have much time, are exploring. They go north, from the north to the northern north, and they find some land, 2 types of land, and they name them accordingly. They also invade some other places and get called many names, such as Vikings. There's the Rus, the Kievan Rus. Are they Vikings? I don't think so.
Yeah, they found evidence in like Newfoundland area in Canada that the Norse or the Vikings actually discovered North America way before Christopher Columbus did. However, they didn't really stay. They obviously didn't stay. So it's not really documented and kept as a huge historical event.
Said the Kievan Rus. Okay, fair enough. The Pope is ready to make some more emperors of the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire. It's actually
Yeah, the Holy Roman Empire. This whole area, so it says Germany here, but we need to remember that this is not Germany yet. So this whole area here, all little kingdoms, and they're not all fighting each other, but a lot of them are fighting each other, kind of going back and forth. They're not unified until, like I said, 1871. But the Holy Roman Empire isn't an actual like entity. It's more or less land that the Catholic Church claims as its own.
Germany, but don't worry about it. New kingdoms.
Christianize all the kingdoms.
Which brand would you like? Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better. Time to conquer England, said William. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's the Seljuk Turks, said the Byzantine Empire, who's getting so small it almost doesn't exist anymore. We need help. They need help, so they call the Pope. Hey, Pope, can you help us get rid of the Seljuks? Maybe take back the Holy Land on the way? Come on, I know you want to take back the Holy Land. Yes, I do actually want to do that. Let's do a crusade. Crusade! They did many crusades, some of which almost didn't fail, but at least the Italians got some sweet trade deals. Goodbye, Mayans. Hello, Toltecs. Goodbye, Toltecs. Hello, Mississippi. Look at those mounds. There's the Pueblo. I always wondered how to build a town in a cliff. Guess who's here? Come here.
Yeah, maybe people don't realize this either, that Mississippians, even the Pueblo natives, they were huge civilizations, especially the Mississippians. They're all across like the Midwest of today, and there's still sites that you can see. You can actually go visit them. It's in southern Illinois. It's called Cahokia, and it kind of shows how big. They're not sure if it's the biggest one that there was for the Mississippians, but it kind of shows that it might have been an epicenter for a metropolitan area, just how big it is, and how many people really were there. People really think that they kind of get the stigma that the natives were very nomadic, and there were some nomadic tribes, but how civilized, even though when the Europeans came over, they were uncivilized, right? So that's going to be important, obviously, coming up here.
Come here. Where? Here. And Pagan is there. Vietnam unconquered itself, Korea just became itself, and Japan is so addicted to art that the military might have to take over the government. China just invented bombs and typing, and the Mongols just invaded most...
That's an interesting point as well. I'm sorry, I keep on stopping it, but China was actually the first to invent the printing press. It was not Germany in the 1500s. However, the Chinese language and the Chinese writing has, I have no idea how many characters there are, but there's so many characters that it just wasn't efficient for them, and it was actually more efficient just to write out the characters by hand. However, in Germany though, and their alphabet, and obviously the English alphabet, they're very similar. German just has a bit more, a couple of characters more. It is pretty efficient, and it's easier to make those words and print it. So obviously it just became more popular in Europe and later in the United States.
Most of the universe. Nice going, Genghis. I bet that will last a long time. Some of the Islamic Turks were unaffected by the Mongol invasions because they were busy invading India. Is it Tonga time? I think it's Tonga time. I just found out where the Swahili gets all their gold. Look at this Chad. Means lake. There's an empire there, right in the middle of Africa. The king of Mali is so rich he's going on tour to let everyone know. Wow, that guy's rich, everyone said. The Christians are doing a great job reconquering Iberia, which will soon be called Spain and not Spain. Please remain Christian. We will check in later to see if you're still Christian when you least expect. Whoops, half of Europe just died. China's back, yay! Hey, come here, time to share. New kingdoms here and there. Oh, look who controls all the islands. It's the Mahajapit, Majapahit, Mapajahit, Mahapajit, Mapajahit, Majapahit. Oh, Italy's really rich. Time for them to care a lot about art and the ancient classics. It's kind of like a rebirth. Here's a printer, let's make books. So you think you can conquer the Byzantine Empire? Yep, said the Ottoman Turks. Nice job, Ottoman Turks. Oops, you missed a spot. Don't forget to ban Europe from the Indian spice trade.
1453 is probably one of the most pivotal years in world history. The fall of Constantinople, the Ottoman Turks banning spice trades from India to Europe here. If this did not happen, perhaps, it would have delayed it, but there would not have been the discovery of North and South America, of the Americas. Probably not until a lot later when technology got more, but because there wouldn't have been a need. But yeah, the fall of Constantinople and the Ottoman Turks stopping that spice trade through here, that's pivotal. That's pivotal. So then Spain at this time was not a huge world power, and they wanted to make their basically stick their place into it. And Portugal, that's right along here, they actually figured out a way. They went down around Africa here and eventually made this their empire over here. And obviously Spain commissioned Christopher Columbus and so on and so forth.
trade. What? That's bullshit, said Portugal, spiceless. Well, I guess we'll have to find another way to India. Wait, said Christopher Columbus, probably smoking crack. If the world is round, let's go this way to India. No, don't worry, we already got this, said Portugal. So Chris goes to Spain. Hey, Spain, want to hire me to find India by going around back of the world? No, please, no, please, no, please. Okay. So he sails into the ocean and discovers more ocean, and then discovers the Indies and Japan. Let's draw a line to decide who gets which half of the world.
Okay, so this is also interesting. So this half is Portugal, and this half is Spain, right? So Portugal got everything this way, but this little sliver here, Brazil, this is actually why Brazil speaks Portuguese today and not Spanish. But obviously this area here will turn into a huge thing for Spain, basically making them one of the most powerful empire in the world, with all of the some of the gold that they steal from the Inca and the Aztec and over here. But so this is 1492. So I actually think 1492 is a good place to stop this video today. So part 2 will obviously be from 1492 on. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video right there. This is a good stopping point. So yeah, a lot of important things in this, and it was so quick fire. It was really hard to kind of keep up with it. And I honestly have to say that, especially with the Chinese Empire and the India Empire, I don't know much about that. I wish I did, but that's just the way it goes. You know, we have our strengths and weaknesses. But so yeah. If there's anything you'd like to add to this, just let me know in the comments below. I'm really excited to see what you guys think about this. And if you have anything to add, or if you like what you see, please give a like, subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to contact me personally, I will leave a link to my email below, so you can email me personally, and I can get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, part 2 coming soon, hopefully within the next week or two. I'm still dealing with the end of semester. Next week is the last week of it, so once I get it all wrapped up, I should be able to post weekly from then forth. Even in the coming semester, hopefully I'll have a little bit more time. Wishful thinking, right? So yeah. So this is History with Brian. My name is Brian, and we'll see you next time.